stars of the national championship team. Walking in right now, Mr. Byron Mouton. How about you? You waited until we're on the air, right? Good timing. Have a seat. Brought to you by our good friends at Thompson Creek Window Company. How about those Terrapins yesterday? Gary Williams on the telephone. We'll get to Coach in just 1 second. The Terrapins rolling yesterday over a very, very good team that came in from Washington, and Maryland wins it by 4, 64-60. And now heading off to Nebraska to play the Cornhuskers on Wednesday night. That'll be a very tough matchup. But, boy, the way the guys played yesterday, who knows what can happen out there against a top-ranked team. 21 points for Andre Mills yesterday and 12 for Elijah Saunders, and another double-double for Solo with 11 points and 14 rebounds. Coach Williams on the telephone tonight, and we'll have an opportunity to talk to a lot of guys who were at that weekend for the alumni. And, Coach, I know what a tremendous thrill it was for you to see some of these guys that maybe some of them you haven't seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, there's some guys that live local, but the guys from out of town, it was great to see them. And, it's funny. You get back into that situation around your players. It's like time, it wasn't 25 years ago or 20 years ago when, it becomes very current. A lot of the things that were funny, during their time there, we talk about, and it's really an enjoyable time for me. And, I think the players had a great time. It was, this was the first time where all the players, all the former players from all the different coaches' eras were invited back. And, it certainly was something that hopefully it happens every year now, because I think you want the basketball program to be really solid, really tight. And the former players, a lot of times they're the best representatives of the basketball program. And, they can really do a lot of good, especially PR-wise for the program.
Gary, Dave Neal and Matt Rado were the guys that were instrumental in this Maryland alumni coalition they've kind of put together. And you're exactly right. These are the guys that pave the way for the guys that are playing basketball today. The Byron Moutons, the Chris Wilcox, the Juan Dixons, the Drew Nicholas, the Taj Holdens. The guys will be on the phone with us a little bit later on tonight. And without those guys paving the way, things would not be so easy for the teams that come out and play right now.
Yeah, and I think we have to include, Lefty's great players. Buck Williams was there.
Yeah.
Len Elmore, Tom McMillan was there Friday, I guess. And, those guys, when Lefty came in 1970, he just changed the program. It became a national program. It became something that, people could really rally around. And, it made Cole Fieldhouse what the great place that I had the opportunity to coach in. And, by the way, Buck Williams, is up for the Naismith Hall of Fame and well-deserved. One of the great rebounders ever at Maryland, along with Len Elmore. And, to see Buck's pro career and what he's accomplished after basketball, it's only fitting that he gets into the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Coach, I was looking at the video, I guess it was yesterday or the day before, of your Hall of Fame induction ceremony up in Springfield, Mass. And everybody that gets inducted to the Hall of Fame has somebody that presents them. You picked Billy Cunningham to introduce you. Had you and Billy gone way back? Had been friends for a long time?
Yeah, we played against each other. He was a senior when I was a sophomore. He was one of Carolina's all-time great players. And I remember playing in the game against him, and obviously I wouldn't be guarding Billy Cunningham. I turned that assignment down. But I was guarding a guy in the corner. Billy had the ball top of the circle. I thought I was going to play in the NBA. I was a sophomore. Back then, freshman couldn't play, so this is my first varsity year. And Billy's got it, so I come off my man and get right in front of the rim, and I'm going to take a charge on Billy Cunningham. And next thing I knew, I saw this Converse shoe going over my right shoulder as he dunked over on top of me. And right then I knew I better look at coaching as if I wanted to stay with basketball, because I knew I wasn't going to play at the next level.
You told that story that night at the Hall of Fame, I think.
Oh, yeah. And Billy was there. I got to know Billy through a lot of people, but, he had a great career in the pros. He won the NBA championship as a coach, and, just part owner. I think he was in ownership with the Miami Heat for a while. And, he and Chuck Daly became very, very good friends, very, very close friends. And, I was fortunate to get to know both those guys.
Yeah, yesterday you were at the game, of course. You're sitting courtside, and you saw Buzz Williams' team go out there and put on a tremendous performance against a very good Washington team. They win that thing by 4. And I want to get your observations about, certainly the game has changed a little bit from when you were coaching. It doesn't seem like that far away that you retired, but it's been some years now. And what's your observation? What do you see from this team?
Well, I think nowadays it's so different in terms of how you are able to get a team together and put it on the court. And this year, this was completely unusual. I don't think any coach in the country had to go through what Buzz did, getting in late to the job and then having to get a completely new team. There was no players left. And, there were some really good players like Gillespie on the team last year that, would be missed, whether they were seniors, whether their eligibility was done, they'd just be missed. And so Buzz had to put it together. And it, any time like that, you're not really building, you have to try to get as good as you can for this year. Yeah. And that's difficult when you have all new players because they don't know each other. It's one thing if the coach doesn't know the players, but the players don't know each other either because they're all new. And so it was an unusual situation, but the one constant Maryland's had all year is how hard they've played. They've come in and competed against, there's 5 Big Ten teams in the top 10 right now. And, to compete at that level is very difficult to do when they have, quite a few guys on those teams that have played 2-3 years with the program. So, the other thing is we're small, we're that's going to be all different next year, but we don't have the size or the bulk really when you look at other Big Ten teams. And so a team like, Washington's a good example. They got their 7-footer that the pros really like, and you got to go play against that guy and figure out a way to try to neutralize him as much as possible. And, Maryland did a great job. They held them to 60 points? I mean, that's unbelievable defense to hold a team that good to 60.
Of course, when you were coach, there was no transfer portal either, so you never know what you're going to have from year to year. We'll be talking with Byron Mootown, who'll be with us in just a second, Coach. We're all brought to you by Thompson Creek Window Company, a proud partner of the Maryland Terps. Thompson Creek Designs, they build, they install replacement windows from the local Maryland factory. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price without the middleman. We'll come back to Lido's in College Park in just a minute with Byron Mootown, part of that national championship team on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
From quote to cleanup, we move fast. Call Thompson Creek and get new windows in 2 weeks, roofing in 3 days, siding in 1 week, and gutters in just 48 hours. We cut out the middleman to give you better prices and faster service because your home improvement project shouldn't take months. Skip the wait. Call now and get a free quote. And now for a limited time, it's our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on everything. There's never been a better time to buy. Home, sweet Thompson Creek.
Come to Rosecroft Raceway for live racing Mondays and Thursdays from now until the 18th of December. Post time is 7:15 p.m. Open every day for simulcast, live boxing, and banquet space. Visit us anytime at rosecroft.com.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
There are a lot of myths out there about how the Maryland Lottery works. Playing the lottery responsibly means knowing what's true and what's not. The facts are, all games have similar odds. You should never try to recover losses by taking more risks. And you shouldn't play the lottery when you're feeling stressed. But the biggest fact is, you should always play responsibly. Learn more facts and myths at mdlottery.com, and please play responsibly.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
Come to Rosecroft Raceway for live racing Mondays and Thursdays from now until the 18th of December. Post time is 7:15 p.m. Open every day for simulcast, live boxing and banquet space. Visit us anytime at rosecroft.com.
Maryland Medical System, the official medical team of the Terrapins. You and your family can expect the same level of exceptional care that all the athletes receive. You can learn more at umms.org/better. University of Maryland Medical System, Maryland's healthcare champion. Coach Williams on the telephone. Hall of Fame Coach Gary Williams with us tonight. It's his show for the next 45 minutes here from Lido's. And, Coach, you only had this guy who's sitting next to me to play for 2 years for you. You got to the Final Four 1 year, and you won the national championship the next year. And I speak for about Byron Mouton.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I wish I knew Byron before that, because those first 2 years he played at Tulane, he should have been at Maryland. He might have had another Final Four if he was there. So.
Oh yeah, Coach. We could have had 4 in a row. Maybe
That's
3
what I mean.
national championships. Yeah.
What made Byron so special, Coach, in your eyes?
Well, he was one of those guys that could guard, defensively. First of all, he was one of those guys that could guard a 6-foot point guard, or he could guard a 6'8" power forward type player. And Byron never took a shortcut on the defensive end of the court. He just showed up, and that's practice, games, whatever. He was always ready to play defense. And the other thing offensively, it was like having another smart guard out on the court, even though Byron was kind of a guard forward. But he knew where the ball should go. He knew the offense really well. And, he did things that sometimes don't show up in box scores, but they're what you need to win championships. And the year he transferred to Tulane, he really upset me, though, because he'd come down with the ball on the second team because, he wasn't eligible as a transfer. He'd come down and he'd make 20-footers against our defense. I think he did it just to make me mad at the first team. Listen, I can hear him laughing now.
Yeah,
that's true. And we couldn't stop him. We knew if we could do a good job on Byron in practice, we were okay going in to play Carolina Duke or whoever we had to play that year.
Yeah, Coach, you're 100% correct. So I used to tell Taj, LaRon Severs, rest in peace, and my man Drew Nicholas and all of them. Like say, my goal as a guy that's sitting out is to go ahead and make Coach Williams mad every practice at the first day. That was my goal. And Coach Williams, he used to always try to hide his emotions, everything. So let me make sure I try something, make sure his face turn red. When I make his face turn red, I know I got him. I know I got him bad at the first team.
How many guys did you envision back when you were playing here for the 2 years that you played, that you'd be eventually playing for a soon-to-be Hall of Fame coach? I think everybody kind of figured that.
Yeah. The thing with Coach Williams, I used to watch him, man. He always was a great coach and, made it to so many Sweet 16. And my goal as a player to help the team to try to go past that. And I guess that's what we did for the 2 Final Fours. I always knew Coach Gary was one of the top 5, in my opinion, that ever coached college basketball. So,
Coach, everybody asked me about the story of when you had that tough loss to Duke in the Final Four. Everybody at that point made a point saying, we got this far this year. This was really nice. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't everybody kind of get together and say, next year we're going to come back?
Oh,
We're gonna win the whole darn thing.
Oh yeah, it was a no-brainer. Like for us to go up there, and I mean, it was heartbreaking to go up there, especially our rivalry at the time when everything was about Maryland and Duke, and to go to the Final Four up 22 and lose that game, and it was heartbreaking, especially to Duke. And that's all our mindset. I mean, to be honest with you, we was all about winning that championship, nothing less. No making it back. Our goal was just to win the national championship, and as a team, I think we'd have felt it would have been a failure if we wouldn't have won the national championship the next year.
And Coach, he was durable too. 72 games in 2 years for you.
Yeah, Byron he never wanted to come out of the game, which all great players, from Michael Jordan on down, the great ones in my mind always were guys that wanted to be on the court, do whatever they could to help the team. And that's not just scoring points, but I'll give you a good example. Against Indiana, I thought we really struggled that game in the championship game in 2002. We had played really well against Kansas the game before and Connecticut the game before that, but we weren't playing our best game. And there was a play right before halftime where Byron made an unbelievable save, and I think he got it out to Taj at the top of the circle, saved the ball from underneath the basket, going out of bounds, and Taj hit a big shot right at halftime that kind of got us straightened out again. So, things like that, I don't forget. I think sometimes they're overlooked by people that just look at the box score and say, this guy got 25 or whatever. But, we wouldn't have won the national championship without Byron because he did too many things for us. And what he talked about before about the team, I think all those guys, if you look at our guys in that team, and a lot of them were back this past weekend, they all cared about winning more than any individual thing they did. Some guys are going to get more points. That's the way it works. But at the same time, you don't win. There's so many good teams out there. You don't win unless you have everybody on the same page. And I think that was the key thing, given the talent of that team, to get everybody on the same page. And when we did that, we were tough to beat.
Yeah, Coach, you're 100% correct. But a lot of people don't know, coming out of high school, I had committed to Kentucky, and I scored over close to 4,000 points in high school. So to come and be one of the leading scorers for the Tulane, to come in a situation where, to the University of Maryland, playing in the #1 conference in college basketball back when I was playing it's the ACC. So my goal was just come in, man, and help the team as much as possible. No egos. Practice was brutal, super competitive. Nobody had egos, and everybody from the manager to obviously the coaching staff, whoever was involved with the team, all we was talking about was just winning. That's all that matters.
Average 9 points and 4 rebounds your junior year. The senior year, 11 points and 5 rebounds, and got that national championship ring. We'll come back with more with Coach Williams and Byron Mouton. Still to come, we'll visit with Drew Nicholas and also Taj Holden as we talk Maryland basketball up until 8 o'clock tonight on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
As muscles tense and heart.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
From quote to cleanup, we move fast. Call Thompson Creek and get new windows in 2 weeks, roofing in 3 days, siding in 1 week, and gutters in just 48 hours. We cut out the middleman to give you better prices and faster service, because your home improvement project shouldn't take months. Skip the wait. Call now and get a free quote. And now, for a limited time, it's our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on everything. There's never been a better time to buy.
Home, sweet Thompson Creek.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
There are a lot of myths out there about how the Maryland lottery works. Playing the lottery responsibly means knowing what's true and what's not. The The facts are, all games have similar odds. You should never try to recover losses by taking more risks. And you shouldn't play the lottery when you're feeling stressed. But the biggest fact is, you should always play responsibly. Learn more facts and myths at mdlottery.com, and please play responsibly.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
Deals on a new Toyota Tacoma, tested on dirt, rain, and snow. Or a Tundra, full-size power, serious capability, and strength that doesn't flinch when conditions get ugly. Toyota also offers a wide selection of all-wheel drive vehicles, including sporty Camrys, Corollas, or the spacious Grand Highlander and RAV4. Visit buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals, to find out more. Toyota, let's go places.
You're listening to the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
Now, here's Talkin' Terps with the voice of the Maryland Terrapins, Johnny Holiday.
University of Maryland,
the Terps welcome Penn State.
Comes a better state of care. You can learn more at umms.org/better. Coach Gary Williams on the telephone with us, Hall of Fame Coach Gary Williams for 22 years. Coach and I did these shows together. A lot of good memories, Coach, of some great shows, some tough shows, some television shows, and we had a lot of
shows. How about
the TV shows were great.
With no script.
I expect Rick Hell to walk in this place any minute now.
I know. He Rick would come in. You guys ready to go? We thought he was bringing the information we were supposed to, do the show on it. I guess, that's your strength, though, Johnny. You
right.
Make people look good. So
yeah, thanks. There was a certain kind of guy that you looked at to play in your basketball team. Not everybody could play for Coach Williams. And Byron, you just mentioned that, man. He was tough in practice, and look at the results in the games. But you had to have that certain mindset to be part of a Gary Williams coach team.
Yeah, it was a, like I said, one of the best experiences I ever had. Coach Williams always expect the best. And one thing I love about Coach, he always take up for his player. It didn't matter who was saying what or whatever. It was always about his players and his program. And, a lot of people don't understand, like, as a player, as a parent, your kid or your player always watching you and see how you react to certain situations. And that probably determine how they play for you or they respect you as a parent. So always, Coach Williams always, look out for his players, and everybody was part of the basketball program. And that's why whoever played for him, especially our team and those guys around us, always play 100% on and off the court. So give it all.
Hey, Gary, when you think back to your coaching days, look at the guys you coached against, Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski. And I think of a guy that maybe might have been under the radar would be Bobby Crimmins.
Yeah, Bobby Crimmins had amazing teams. They went to the Final Four, I think, my first year at Maryland, 89-90, and just tremendous players. And, Bobby was one of the good guys in coaching. He's one of the few coaches. That second year, I guess it was, we played down there, and they were a lot better than we were. And, they beat us at Georgia Tech. And he came up to shake my hand after the game, and he apologized because he beat us. And I said, Bobby, what's wrong with you? We're just all trying to win. You don't have to apologize. But that's the kind of guy he was.
Yeah.
He was just such a great guy that he didn't want to make anybody unhappy. And he's still that way. Bobby is still that way. But I wanted to get to Byron. One thing about Byron, he's coaching now. And, his team is very good. Plus, he runs development programs for the kids in the area, which he's gotten several of his kids at this point now that have gotten scholarships to Division I schools. So, it's kind of a great when, my time as a coach, I can look back and see one of my guys who's done an outstanding job as a coach also.
State champions too, right?
Yeah, 6 state champions, learn from the best. Gary Williams, been there 11 years. We won 6 state championships. So
Byron, do you get any technical fouls or anything like that?
Yeah, a lot of guys in the areas. Oh man, who's this guy? Oh, there go Bouton. He's gonna give us a hard time. I see. I learned from the best.
Yeah, but Coach, how about his brother? His brother has had championship teams at Westlake down in Waldorf, Maryland.
Yep.
Been there for how many years?
Yeah, he's been there for, I think Dave Dickinson knew him because I think that was the initial conversation. He knew my brother. That's what initiated me visiting Maryland. Yeah. So my brother been down there over 30 years.
Coach, I want you to talk a little bit also. Another special guest on the telephone right now with us. In fact, he'll be back in just a moment after we take a break. We'll visit with Taj Holden as well as we talk Maryland basketball up till 8 o'clock. Johnny Holiday, Byron Mouton on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
From quote to cleanup, we move fast. Call Thompson Creek and get new windows in 2 weeks, roofing in 3 days, siding in 1 week, and gutters in just 48 hours. We cut out the middleman to give you better prices and faster service because your home improvement project shouldn't take months. Skip the wait. Call now and get a free quote. And now for a limited time, it's our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on everything. There's never been a better time to buy.
Home, sweet Thompson Creek.
Come to Rosecroft Raceway for live racing Mondays and Thursdays from now until the 18th of December. Post time is 7:15 p.m. Open every day for simulcast, live boxing, and banquet space. Visit us anytime at rosecroft.com.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
There are a lot of myths out there about how the Maryland lottery works. Playing the lottery responsibly means knowing what's true and what's not. The facts are, all games have similar odds. You should never try to recover losses by taking more risks. And you shouldn't play the lottery when you're feeling stressed. But the biggest fact is, you should always play responsibly. Learn more facts and myths at mdlottery.com, and please play responsibly.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
No two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
And they do it for different reasons.
You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
Come to Rosecroft Raceway for live racing Mondays and Thursdays from now until the 18th of December. Post time is 7:15 p.m. Open every day for simulcast, live boxing, and banquet space. Visit us anytime at rosecroft.com.
Pizza.com.
You're listening to Maryland Sports on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
Now, here's Talkin' Terps with the voice of the Maryland Terrapins, Johnny Holiday.
Another part, Coach, of that national championship team you had back in 2001 and 2002 would be Taj Holden, who played 128 games at Maryland, 358 rebounds and 132 block shots. Came down to Maryland from New Jersey, where maybe Taj, the snow has stopped by now.
Yeah, it finally stopped about an hour ago. So
Been going all day?
pretty much, yeah. I mean, since yesterday, but we got about 2 feet, maybe a little bit more. But, we're shoveled out and good, ready to go. Not to school tomorrow, but at least to the grocery store.
Yeah. Coach, some great memories about this guy, huh?
Yeah, Taj was one of those players that really was a skilled player. He could do a lot of things. And Taj, I don't know how you feel about this, but looking at the game today where that 6'10", 6'11 guy's got to be out there at the top of the circle, knowing how to defend a ball screen, things like that, and the ability on offense to set the screen and then step back for the three. Taj could do all those things, which wasn't done much back then in that period of how basketball was played. But today, I think Taj, like Byron, I think both those guys would be NBA players. And it's just worked out that, we had a lot of guys go to the NBA. They didn't, but they both certainly were NBA quality players for us.
Yeah. What made you choose Maryland, Taj?
Well, a couple of things, right? It was not too far away from home, but it was far enough away from the Jersey Shore that I felt like I was going away from college. It was a little bit further south, so I can say I was going south for college. So, even though the weather wasn't much different, I could at least pretend that it was a little bit warmer. And then there was the opportunity to play, but not just get the opportunity to play, but actually have to work for my opportunity to play. Like when I got there, you had guys like Terrence Morris, Lonnie Baxter, and Lonnie was coming off of an opportunity to get some starter minutes when Abina goes down. So we didn't really know, or at least when I was getting recruited, didn't really know how good Lonnie was. But watching Terrence and then watching Lonnie, and then, in years after having Chris come in, having to compete and really show every day that I was worthy of getting on the court was the opportunity that I was really looking for. And every now and again, I needed somebody to kick me in the butt, and Coach Williams is really good at that.
Thanks, Taj. No, but I think one of the key things with that team was our practices. In other words, the first team obviously was good, and Taj started the championship year 2002. Taj started the first 5-6 games ahead of Chris Wilcox, and Wilcox, just became so dominant athletically. He was out there in the starting lineup, but in practice, you could put Drew Nicholas out there, you could put Taj Holden out there. In practice, you could put Ryan Randall out there, and that wasn't any drop off from who you had to play against when you played an ACC game. And I think a lot of teams don't get better as the year goes on because there's a big drop off after their first 5 or 6 players, but not with us. Every day we competed, and I had this thing where we either walked through something or we went full speed. We never went half speed and things like that. So these guys were quick learners, and but the competitive thing in practice really helped us.
Hey, Todd, this is your brother right here, Byron Mouton.
Yeah.
So
what's going on, old man?
Hey, man, what's up, man? This guy was my roommate, man. So, we had a lot of memories together. So this saying that, Todd, can you tell me one of your favorite memories playing for Maryland basketball, but something is besides actual game, something outside the game, one of your best memories?
Okay, I got one. So the stories that I can tell. With Byron being my roommate for the first year that he got there, I guess the weather was bad in Louisiana, so it took him maybe a week or two to actually show up on campus. And when he finally did, we were already starting playing pickup and workouts and everything like that. So Byron shows up and we play pickup and we're done, and we're all sitting in the locker room. And, we're all in there except for Byron. So maybe Byron's out there getting some extra shots. And we're sitting kind of joking, talking, getting changed and whatnot. And then we hear doom, 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 doom. And somebody's running into the locker room. And it's Byron. Byron bursts into the locker room, does a front barrel roll into the locker room. And now, mind you, this is like the first Byron Mouton experience that we had all had collectively.
So you guys never saw him before, right? This is it.
No, we had never seen him before. He was my roommate for 2 weeks, and that was the first time I had experienced Bayern Mouton. But that was my first Bayern Mouton experience. But that moment really encapsulated who Bayern was and just the energy that he brought every day. And I can tell you stories about him upsetting Coach Williams very much at the rec center when he wasn't able to play, and we had to have some scrimmages against the first team. And like Coach Williams said, we were such a good and unique second team that we were almost as good as the first team on any given day. So, having him as a roommate and as a teammate, just the energy that he brought was one of the fondest memories I have of Bayern Mouton and the University of Maryland basketball.
Wow. And then, Coach, he took your line for being a coach, and now he's one of the successful coaches in high school in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what Taj and I have in common. We both coached high school basketball in New Jersey. So, I really enjoyed coaching high school. And Taj, how do you deal with today's players? In other words, I watch and things like that. And, it was different when I was coaching in high school in the 70s. And so how do you approach coaching these guys?
I don't think it's much different than anything that we did at the University of Maryland, and maybe Byron can chime in on this too. And the things that I learned from you in my time at Maryland is that there are things that I'm teaching them right now, right? So how do we compete every day? How do we come and show up prepared every day? And recognizing that our best effort sometimes is not good enough, and there is going to be times where we're going to give our best effort and still lose. But how do we show up the next day and prepare to compete? And those are all lessons that I've taken from the time we were at the University of Maryland and brought to the kids that I have to coach today. Now, they're all incredibly skilled. I think from a skill standpoint, the generation that we have today are probably more skilled than we were. But the thing that I'm trying to instill more of is just the competing every day against the people that are your teammates in practice. And I think that's lost, right? Like Byron and I grew up playing pickup and playing against the older guys, and the older guys teaching us how to play basketball, where these generations right now, they don't have that older group of people because they all train together at the same age group. So we had some unique things that were, a part of our era that are not part of this era that I'm trying to bring into my coaching.
It's always great to catch up with you. Hope to see you soon, huh?
Thank you so much for having me. I hope to get down there soon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Taj, when you get down, make sure I know you're coming in, okay?
Absolutely.
We'll come back in a minute.
Hopefully Byron is there too.
Okay.
Yes, sir. My man, Taj, my big brother.
We'll be back in a minute on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
From quote to cleanup, we move fast. Call Thompson Creek and get new windows in 2 weeks, roofing in 3 days, siding in 1 week, and gutters in just 48 hours. We cut out the middleman to give you better prices and faster service, because your home improvement project shouldn't take months. Skip the wait. Call now and get a free quote. And now, for a limited time, it's our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on everything. There's never been a better time to buy.
Home, sweet Thompson Creek.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this one.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
There are a lot of myths out there about how the Maryland lottery works. Playing the lottery responsibly means knowing what's true and what's not. The facts are, all games have similar odds. You should never try to recover losses by taking more risks. And you shouldn't play the lottery when you're feeling stressed. But the biggest fact is, you should always play responsibly. Learn more facts and myths at mdlottery.com, and please play responsibly.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
There are moments that last a lifetime. And this team has given us plenty. We are a program built on tradition. We know what it takes to get to the top. Through it all, you've cheered with unrelenting passion. You drive the moments that make us, us. Unforgettable memories. One team. Pizza.com.
Cold weather's coming. Are your windows ready? At Thompson Creek, we design, build, and install energy-efficient windows right here in Maryland, made for our climate and built to save you money. Call now to save 40%. Buy one window, get the next 40% off. Plus, get new windows installed in as little as 2 weeks. Don't wait. Fall into comfort and savings now. Call 855-57-CREEK. That's 855-57-CREEK.
Home sweet Thompson Creek.
You're listening to Maryland Sports on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
Now, here's Talkin' Terps with the voice of the Maryland Terrapins, Johnny Holiday.
You know, besides the fact that Byron Mouton is coach and doing a tremendous job with young people, you've also got that program. You're still running the basketball program called Six Man Sports.
Yes. So it's crazy how it all play a part. If you invited me today, so Thursday, it's actually our spring tryouts at Tilden Middle School in Rockville at 6 p.m. So Tilden Middle School, Rockville, 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Okay.
For 2nd through 8th grade.
And the Maryland Christian Schools Tournament, you won that thing, didn't you?
Yeah, so the Maryland Christian State Championship, we won that 6 years out of 11. And last year was the first year we actually went to the National Championship Christian Championship in Ohio, and we actually lost the championship game on a lane violation.
Oh. Whoa,
a lane violation.
Hey, Byron, who was the referee? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing I ever experienced. And my kid actually made the free throw, would have tied the game. Oh. And then we're going to go back this year because I'm just so frustrated that we end up losing the game that way.
You can call a lane violation probably on most free throws if you want to. It's amazing.
Yeah. I think they didn't want us to win it because that was our first time ever playing for the national championship.
That's right.
And the first time ever going. They're like, man, what is Team Lanham Christian out of Greenbelt area? Never heard of them, and they come back and beat all our teams.
Oh man!
And call a lane violation.
We just called Drew Nicholas, coach, and went right to voicemail. So we may not be able to get him on. The game, as you mentioned, coach, has changed so much. And where do you see it going now with the NIL stuff and the transfer portal?
Well, I think it's here. It's not going to go back. What's needed is some regulations involved. I mean, it's just amazing. You know, guys like Byron, I'm sure he looks at things, and a player at his level, he'd be making $500,000 minimum.
Yep.
His senior year in college if he was playing now, and it just. What happened was the NCAA didn't do anything for the two revenue sports, football and men's basketball. They said everybody has to have the same scholarship. So guys like Byron, if he wanted to go fly home for a weekend, he couldn't do that because he got room, board, books, and scholarship, but that doesn't put any money in your pocket. And so it just was wrong what was going on. And all of a sudden there were some court cases that the NCAA lost. So they just basically opened up and said, go ahead. It's the wild, wild west, and that's what we have now with the NIL and the transfer portal. And for both of those things to come into the game at the same time, that's a big part of the problem because players today can transfer 4 times and play for 4 different schools. A player should be able to transfer once. If he goes to a school, the coach leaves or he doesn't get along with the coach, he should be allowed to leave and play right away. But after that, if you want to transfer, you have to sit out a year. And until we get some regulations, until some people start listening to people that know a little bit more than they do, it's not going to change. And it's just a shame because college basketball I always thought it was the best game.
And what you're also losing, Coach, I think you're losing some good coaches that just don't like the atmosphere. I'm certainly amazed at Tom Izzo able to still coach as well as he does today, not liking anything that's going on. And when he was here recently, we talked to him about, can't coaches get together like Tom Izzo and some other big name, old school coaches that have a better feel for the game than anybody and go to these people that make the decisions and say, hey, this is not working at all.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example. The football committee that picks the football playoff now, there's several former football coaches on that. On the basketball NCAA selection committee, there are no former coaches. There never has been. And I don't know why they look at basketball the way they do, but obviously there's some very good people out there that could help offer suggestions to. And see, most coaches, you compete and all that, but you want college basketball to be a great game. I mean, that's been your life, and sure. You want it to continue to grow. You don't want it to fall from where it got to. And so, we all got to get together on this thing and make sure that we get it figured out, because there's too many kids that, are not getting the college experience. In other words, they're getting money, but they're not getting the college experience, whether it's academically, whether it's being loyal to a school, that type of thing. And, the money they make now is fine, but by the time they're 35 years old, even though they make a great deal of money, that money's not going to be there. No. They're going to have something they can do to be successful in addition to the money they've made in college.
We will take a break. We'll come back with more and wrap it up from Lido's in College Park. Brought to you by Thompson Creek Window Company on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
From quote to clean up, we move fast. Call Thompson Creek and get new windows in 2 weeks, roofing in 3 days, siding in 1 week, and gutters in just 48 hours. We cut out the middleman to give you better prices and faster service, because your home improvement project shouldn't take months. Skip the wait. Call now and get a free quote. And now, for a limited time, it's our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on everything. There's never been a better time to buy.
Home, sweet Thompson Creek.
The Terps welcome Penn State to College Park on January 18. This isn't just another game. It's a Big Ten border battle. Fast, physical, relentless. Every possession counts. Every basket matters. And every fan fuels the fight. Be part of the energy. Be part of the noise. Be part of beating Penn State.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Stop talking this way. Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What'd I miss? I have no idea.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
they're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more?
And Coach Gary Williams. Coach, thanks so much as always. The hour flies by so quickly, and we appreciate your time so much.
Johnny, you're the best. You're the legend. So thanks for having Byron and I on. We appreciate it.
Oh, this was great tonight, Coach. And we'll see you at the next home game, which will be coming up on Sunday. The Terrapins will host Rutgers at Xfinity Center. And coming up on Wednesday night, the Terps on the road against a very good Nebraska team in the top 15 in the country. They're 23-4, 12-4 in conference play. They're coming off a win over Penn State, 87-64 on Saturday. And Buzz's guys coming off a huge win over Washington Saturday, 64-60, 21 points from Andre Mills in that game. The Terrapins averaging 8 made threes a game. They had 10 against Washington. Byron, it's been fun, buddy. All the best with your team, and all the best with the kids you're working with as well.
Hey, Johnny, it's always a pleasure, man. I always appreciate you. You always put a smile on my face, man. I'm always welcome. The College Park basketball, Maryland basketball. Anytime you call me, man, I will be there.
And I hope your brother wins another championship down there in Waldorf. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, congratulations to him. Yep. Thanks to Byron Mouton for being with us. Thanks also to Taj Holden for checking in from up in New Jersey. Tom Marquito has been our technical director alongside. We thank Alex Scamponi up at Turtle Network Control in Baltimore for your help tonight as well. Join us at 6:30 on Wednesday night from Lincoln, Nebraska. Chris and I will have the broadcast, the Terrapins against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Good night from College Park.
You've been